we have seen the naming of chemical compounds when we had one metal and one non-metal. Now let's see how we name the chemical compounds when there are two non-metals. We use the prefix. These are the different prefixes that we use. Di means 2, tri means 3, tetra means 4, penta means 5, and so on. And these denote the number of atoms which are present. So let's see how we use this. We have N2O. These N is also a non-metal. Oxygen is also a non-metal. So when we name it di-nitrogen. This means there are two atoms of nitrogen and one atom of oxygen. So it's monooxide. What do you observe here? You observe that the first element, that is the first non-metal in this case, is named as it is, and the second non-metal has the suffix "ide" to it. So this is something which we were following in case when we had a metal and non-metal. That is, the first element remains the same, which is the metal, and the second has an "ide" added to it. So in this case also, that same rule applies, but at the same time, we use the prefix di and mono. So when we have two atoms of nitrogen, we name it di-nitrogen, one atom of oxygen, so it becomes monooxide. Now we have NO. This shows there is one atom of nitrogen, one atom of oxygen. So when we name the first non-metal, it remains nitrogen, and the second non-metal, "ide" suffix is added to it, so it becomes oxide. When we have one atom in the first element itself, so this becomes mononitrogen. But we can ignore the mono which is present for the first element. So it becomes simply nitrogen monooxide. Now we have N2O3. So this has two atoms, this has three atoms. So this becomes dinitrogen trioxide. One atom of nitrogen, two atoms of oxygen. So nitrogen, we ignore the mono for the first non-metal, and dioxide. Similarly for N2O5, we have dinitrogen and pentoxide. So whenever we have two non-metals, the first non-metal is named as it is, that is, the name remains the same. We use the prefix di, tri, penta, tetra, and so on, denoting the number of atoms. The second non-metal has the suffix "ide" added to it, and at the same time we use the same prefixes, denoting the number of atoms present. So now we had both non-metals, that is, nitrogen was also a non-metal and oxygen is also a non-metal. So which one do we name first? Why did we name nitrogen before oxygen? This is because we have seen in case of metals and non-metals also, we name or we write the element with lesser number of valence electrons before the one which has greater number of valence electrons. In nitrogen, there are 5 valence electrons, and in oxygen, there are 6 valence electrons. That is why we write nitrogen before oxygen. Now, you know that when we form the chemical formulae from the chemical symbols, we take one positive ion and one negative ion. This is how we form the compounds. But in this case, when we have two non-metals, so when we had nitrogen, which has -3 valency, and we had oxygen, which has -2 valency. We've so far seen that we have to satisfy the octet rule. So whenever we have one positive ion, one negative ion, one atom loses electrons, other atom receives electrons. By doing this, both of them have a stable octet. But in this case, when two non-metals combine, we were able to form a number of compounds. That is, we formed NO2, N2O, and so on. So in this case, this means that the octet rule is not satisfied. This is because when we have two non-metals, we are not taking one positive and one negative ion. Instead, we have two negative ions. So this is an exceptional case, and how we get different compounds is beyond the scope of this lecture. But here you can see that this does not obey the normal rule of one positive and one negative ion. This is why we get different compounds. So what do you think should be the formula of phosphorus pentachloride? The chemical symbol for phosphorus is P, and for chlorine it's Cl. We know that the element which is written second has the suffix "ide" added to it. And here this penta shows that there are 5 atoms of chlorine. Since no prefix is used in this case, this means we have 1 atom of phosphorus. So we have 1 atom of phosphorus and we have 5 atoms of chlorine. So this is the formula of the compound, which is phosphorus pentachloride. But you remember, when we have 1 metal and 1 non-metal, how do we name that? So in this case, we have CaCl2. We know calcium is a metal. So calcium remains as it is. Chlorine is a non-metal. So we write chloride. That is, ide is added as the suffix to the non-metal. But in this case, you observe, when we have a metal and 1 non-metal, we ignore the number of atoms which are present. We do not consider this 2 while naming the compound which has a metal and non-metal, but this is not the case when we have 2 non-metals. Whenever we have 2 non-metals, we always consider the number of atoms present in both the non-metals. So when we have this compound, N2Cl3, how do we name this? So we know N is nitrogen, which remains as it is. And here we see 2 atoms of nitrogen. So we have dinitrogen. So whenever we have N in between, so we write this also small, so this becomes dinitrogen. We do not write a capital letter in between. And we see 3 atoms of chlorine. So this becomes trichloride. So what do you observe here? The first non-metal is named as it is. The second non-metal has the suffix ide added to it. And we consider the atoms which are present in both the non-metals. So here we have 2 atoms of nitrogen. So this is dinitrogen. We have 3 atoms of chlorine. So it's trichloride. In case of metals and non-metals, we do not consider the number of atoms present. But whenever in a chemical compound we have 2 non-metals, we always consider the number of atoms present. So this is how we name the chemical compounds when they have 2 non-metals.